Hello, everybody. Ian Robson here. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Ian. It's good coffee. We're still using that. Was it dark roast? No, what was it? Dark roast coffee, and it's darn good. There's a couple. It was weird because there's a couple different variations in the coffee we have been drinking. It's like the other ones were espresso beans, and these ones is like a dark roast, and the taste is quite different actually. So, anyways, as the title suggests, there are mods plenty out now. That's something I was just kind of reflecting on. I was just looking at the FarmSim main website and seeing all the different mods they have released on the Mod Hub now. 8 pages apparently of mods, which is pretty crazy. And they're constantly adding some new ones. A couple of newest ones that actually caught my attention that were like, that's different. So there's one called Growth Control, which is interesting. This mod allows you to set the plant and weed growth time according to your own ideas. So you can adjust it how fast or how slow you want things to grow based on your own ideas, which is very cool because it allows you to check out, allows you to change certain things. So for example, if you wanted to change how fast wheat grew opposed to, let's say, canola or soybeans, you could make that adjustment in the XML, which I thought was kind of neat, actually. So it gives you the possibility of making those types of changes making those changes on the fly. So it's kind of cool. What was the other one I saw that was kind of interesting? Another mod I saw that was interesting was the time scale mod. Kind of like the time acceleration mod we had back in the day. From Upside Down, or this one's a similar situation. Just I don't know if I think is it 9,000. I think it's not quite as fast as the time acceleration mod, but close to. I think it goes up to 9,000 x 9,000 speed, I guess, which is kind of neat. And then the other one I saw was a manure trading system, which is that's the mod's called it, at least. So basically, you can buy and sell manure at this as placeable, and it looks like it's just a easy mode, profi mode. Easy mode. So you can buy and sell manure at this area. So right now, they haven't added anything that's kind of like you put manure down and you cultivate under and you get 2 stages of fertilization. It's just for now, you just get manure for the time being. And they haven't had anything crazy like that, like we used to have, at least, where you could get the extra stage of fertilization. So nothing like that. And then they have a money tool here now too, which adds $1 million to your account by pressing the normal thing. So that's kind of like a bit different than the government subsidy where you get $100,000 every hour. This one you just add $1 million at a time. So, and you might be able to add a certain amount of money within the if you have developer tools enabled. You might be able to do it just that with a console command. So not sure yet. I haven't really messed around with that one much. So speaking of money though, as well, having the solar panels has been pretty awesome on the server so far. It's basically, kind of negated the whole worry about basically what was happening was I would go off the server and then I would lose let's say $1,000, $10,000, whatever it was. But that's on a daily basis, let's say, which isn't a huge deal. But if you're on every day sort of thing, but I wasn't always on every day. So even if I was on every day, I'd still lose a little bit of money because time still passes by on leases and whatnot. So I hadn't paid for the loan yet. And I hadn't paid, I had a couple things leased. So it was costing me money basically. But I heard my wife wake up. Anyways, so yeah, that's what's going on there. So those solar panels on the server are pretty stellar, actually, and surprisingly profitable, actually. Not intentionally, but just the way it's worked out. So because I initially had enough money to put 2 down, and then from putting 2 down, I was able to put 3. I think I'm at 5 now or something like that. So basically, it's a good source of constant income, which is nice. So whether you're playing or not, so I don't have to kind of play for hours and hours and hours, which I don't mind playing for hours, of course, but sometimes you feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. So you got to try to mix it up a little bit. So I don't know. So I think what I might do next time is on a server is once you get, you have your X number of dollars, I think it's 1.2 million to start off with. I might start off by putting a couple solar panels down, which I guess might be considered a bit cheaty, maybe a bit cheaty, I suppose. But I mean, you know, it's within the confines of the game. So like even now, like in real life right now, if you buy a solar panel and place it, put it down, like you actually get paid for having it. Well, you used to, at least in Ontario. It's changed a little bit now. So it used to be that you would sell the energy to the energy company and then buy it back at a discounted rate. So let's say you sold it to the hydro company for 10 cents a kilowatt or 10 cents a watt, whatever it is. And then you were buying it back at 5 cents a watt. So you're making 5 cents every time you bought one back, sort of thing. So it's kind of a strange system. I don't know how they're going to do it in the future, but that was the way it was working for solar panels at one point in Ontario, at least. But programs have changed, of course, in recent times. So that definitely has an impact on how the Green Energy Act, I guess, is working. So other than that, I haven't seen too many new mods. Well, there's lots of mods on there, but they're all kind of like just nothing that really jumps out at me that's like, oh, wow, that's kind of neat. There's the one forestry mod, the Skidder, the Typhoon, EG80AHK, which is one that has the winch on it, which is actually pretty awesome. It's like the one we had back in 17. So that was actually a really good mod if you're doing any logging at all or pulling trees out of anywhere. So very helpful mod for that. But I think otherwise there's a couple maps that have come out. Nothing that's really grabbed my attention. I've been keeping an eye out for some potential maps to see if there's anything that really interests me. But so far I've been like, haven't found any nice American maps that really have jumped out at me yet. Most of what I've seen has been kind of like, one was a forestry map, and I'm not into forestry at all. So I was kind of like, no, thanks. I think I'll pass on that one. So I've been kind of just, you know, keeping my eyes out for a potential next map to put on the server. But as of yet, I haven't seen anything. I know we could always put old streams on the server. I know there is a version of it coming out at some point in the future. Valley of the Old Streams, I guess would be map. What would it be? Version 2. I heard some rumors about that coming out at some point. So we'll see if we actually get to see that in full. So I don't know. I'll be very curious to see what's going down with that. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I think I'll probably stream this afternoon at some point too. I think I don't believe I have anything else planned, although my wife might change my plans for all I know. But I think I'm going to try to stream probably around 3 o'clock or so. Not sure I'm going to stream yet. Might do some City Skylines, might do some Farm Sim. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I'm game either way. So, and I think with that, folks, I am done for today. My name is Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and of course, enjoy the coffee.